Welcome back to the deep dive. We've got, well, a ton of technical reading to get through today.
We certainly do. It's Andrew Kagan's weekly roundup, the one from October 10th, 2025. It covers pretty much everything.
Yeah, from cloud all the way to, like, how we even learn to code now. It's a lot.
And that's the mission, right? Instead of having you sift through, 8 different sections,
Categories, dozens of links.
we're going to try and pull out the real nuggets, connect the dots for you.
Cut through the noise, find the so what. So let's dive right in, starting at the base layer, Azure.
Right. And when you talk Azure these days, especially at scale, you're really talking AI infrastructure.
Exactly. And the first thing that jumped out was this massive hardware deployment.
Oh, yeah. The NVIDIA GB300 NVL72 cluster, Microsoft Azure delivering the first large-scale one specifically for OpenAI.
That's a statement, isn't it? It's
Cool.
not just faster processing. It's about enabling those truly huge models.
It is. It's the memory, the bandwidth needed for, training the next generation, the trillion parameter beasts. It shows serious commitment to being the place for that heavy lifting.
So Azure's really planting its flag for model training. Or is it hosting too?
It's definitely both, but I think the training capability is the big headline grabber here if you have that bleeding edge, scarce hardware.
You attract the biggest players.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And then you have things like Azure AI Foundry pushing that multimodal revolution. And that's more the application side, right? Building and testing with the models.
Got it. Engine room and factory floor. But it's interesting because while they build these powerful sort of walled gardens for AI,
They're also opening doors.
yeah, they're acknowledging the multi-cloud reality for enterprises.
That's where the hybrid cloud networking comes in. We saw that announcement. It lets you connect Azure with AWS, GCP, others.
Which is crucial for like resilience and flexibility, I imagine, not being stuck in one ecosystem.
Exactly. You put the workload where it makes sense.
Yeah.
Huge for enterprise architects.
Okay, so AI is reshaping infrastructure. Let's follow that thread into Microsoft 365. How's it changing daily work and, importantly, identity?
Well, you see AI everywhere, of course, but there's also some critical admin stuff happening, like that video resource on moving from Active Directory.
Moving the source of authority to Microsoft Entra ID. Why is that migration so, well, non-negotiable now?
It's a fundamental shift. Classic Active Directory, built for the network perimeter, a castle wall, sort of.
Right, the old model.
But Entra ID is cloud-first, zero trust-based. And today, identity is the perimeter. So migrating is essential for modern security, especially with remote work and all that.
It's one of those big behind-the-scenes changes everyone needs a plan for.
Absolutely.
And speaking of essential resources, I have to mention this one title, the only Microsoft licensing video you'll ever need.
Ah, yes.
If that actually delivers. Nobel Prize territory, maybe?
Seriously. Anyone who's waded through licensing docs just felt a shiver, I bet. Oh, definitely. That's doing the Lord's work right there. But back to the user side, you see AI popping up everywhere, like Copilot plus OneDrive.
Intelligence in every click, inspiration in every memory. Sounds ambitious for file storage.
Well, it's about making your files proactive, smarter, finding things, suggesting things, and then there were new tools mentioned too.
Right. The Windows 11 25H2 update, features, changes, and the SharePoint Agents Finder, a declarative agent.
Agents are popping up all over. It's less about clicking tools, more about telling an agent your goal, right?
Which needs good data,
Yeah.
which brings us neatly to the Power Platform.
Exactly. Power Platform and Dynamics 365, increasingly, they feel like the data readiness layer for all this AI stuff.
And we saw that explicitly, didn't we? The ability to prep your data for AI right inside the Power BI service.
Yeah, that's Microsoft trying to, take on some of that ETL burden, the extract, transform, load headache.
So clean up the data before you feed it to Copilot or whatever AI you're using.
That's the idea. Make the AI more effective by simplifying the data side, lower the barrier to entry.
Makes sense. And for the Power BI pros, there was something pretty technical. Composite semantic models using direct lake and import tables. What's the quick takeaway there?
Performance, basically, without compromise. Direct Lake gives you access to massive data lakes, like instantly, no importing, everything.
Good for big data.
Right. But sometimes you need raw speed on smaller bits of data, like dimension tables. Composite models let you mix both. Live lakehouse data and fast cached import tables in the same report.
So you get scale and speed. Best of both worlds.
Pretty much. It solves a big pain point for complex, large-scale reports.
Nice. That's a good blend of deep tech and then, The quick wins like that Power BI calendar visual in 10 minutes resource.
Developers love those quick fixes.
Mm.
Okay, moving from low code into the actual coding trenches. DevOps, SRE, infrastructure.
That's new for the builders.
Well, core language updates continue. We saw Python 3.14 mentioned, new features promised.
Always significant for the Python ecosystem, especially with ML.
Definitely. But maybe more profound is the shift in how people code or learn to code. That piece on the impact of AI on how we learn to code.
The one with Scott Talinsky.
Yeah. It suggests that if AI writes more boilerplate, the key skill shifts. Maybe less about meticulous function writing, more about rapid integration, architecture, seeing the bigger picture.
Interesting. So adapting to the tools,
Yeah.
but all that coding still needs a purpose, right?
Always. Which is why that resource on aligning UX metrics with organizational goals is important. Connecting the cool stuff developers build to actual business strategy, still a challenge.
Okay, now for maybe the biggest area of change, data, analytics, and AI itself. You said protocols are shifting.
Yeah, this section felt like it was defining the next wave, and one thing really jumped out, Anthropic's MCP, described as a big deal.
MCP, Model Context Protocol. Okay, break this down. What is it and why should you care?
Right, so MCP, the Model Context Protocol, think of it as a standard way for AI models to talk to the outside world.
Like external data, tools, APIs.
Exactly. Right now, getting an LLM to reliably use your company's CRM or database often involves custom, kind of brittle code.
A lot of plumbing.
A lot of plumbing. MCP aims to standardize that connection, an open standard, which is key.
So any AI model that speaks MCP can talk to any tool or data source that also speaks MCP, like a universal adapter.
Precisely. It promises better interoperability, more security, easier scaling. That's why it's potentially a very big deal for moving AI from cool demos to, real enterprise workflow.
Okay, that clicks. That could unlock a lot. What else in AI?
We saw more specialized models, IBM Granite 4.0, described as hyper-efficient, high-performance hybrid models for enterprise.
So moving away from just giant general-purpose models towards ones tuned for specific business needs.
Seems like it. Efficiency is becoming key. And on the tooling side, lots happening in Microsoft Fabric. SQL and Fabric got a bunch of updates. Copilot assistance, data virtualization, better notebook integration, backup restore. It's becoming a much more complete platform for developers, not just for querying.
Making SQL a hub within Fabric.
Kind of feels that way. And even the SQL Developer extension for VS Code got updates, charts, and diagrams now. More visual, end-to-end workflow.
Got it. Okay, shifting gears rapidly. Security, compliance, privacy, always trying to stay ahead.
And sometimes way ahead. Like Cloudflare implementing post-quantum cryptography, PQC.
Securing against quantum computers breaking current encryption, even though practical quantum code breaking isn't really here yet.
Exactly. It's proactive defense against a future threat. Fixing the roof before the storm, way before the storm clouds even form, really.
That's some serious forward planning. What about threats today?
The big trend highlighted is blending AI plus human workflows. It's not AI replacing analysts. It's AI handling the massive scale of data analysis, finding anomalies.
And then humans bring the context, the judgment, the response.
That's synergy. It's proving much more effective than just one or the other.
And some practical help, too. That template, presenting AI to the board as a CISO, gold dust for security leaders trying to explain this stuff.
Absolutely. And for the tech teams, those open source tools. Check off for static code analysis, finding security bugs early.
And the SVG Security Analysis Toolkit.
Oh.
Why focus on SVGs? Aren't they just images?
But they're code-based vector graphics, not pixel-based, which means, unfortunately, attackers can sometimes hide malicious scripts inside an SVG file.
Wow. Okay, so this toolkit helps sniff that out.
That's the goal. Defense has to keep up with attacker ingenuity, even in seemingly harmless file types.
Always a cat and mouse game. Okay, let's talk skills. Learning and certifications. How do you keep up with all this?
Well, the resources highlighted cover the whole spectrum. You've got rock-solid foundations, like that free Harvard CS50 Intro to SQL course. Amazing resource.
Plus that API explainer, every type of API you must know. Foundational building blocks.
Definitely. But then you can also jump right into the deep end. Deep learning vision architectures, from CNNs to vision transformers.
Or get practical with the Microsoft 365 Copilot tutorial for beginners, updated for 2025.
And tying back to that protocol piece, there was a gentle intro to MCP servers and clients. Plus, looking way out, that Quantum for Everyone course promoting condom literacy.
It covers the whole range. And we can't forget the quick wins. I love seeing that Excel's MAP function is genius tip in there.
Huh. Yes. Sometimes it's those little things that save you hours, those 5-minute aha moments.
Okay, let's wrap up with industry news and trends. How is all this tech actually hitting the market?
Well, one huge theme is how AI is changing content itself, the idea of the synthetic scroll.
Driven by things like Meta's Vibes and OpenAI's Sora, and the source said marketers are watching nervously.
You bet they are. If you can generate high-quality, targeted video, images, text almost instantly and almost for free, what does that do to the entire content marketing industry?
It completely upends the economics. The sheer volume could be overwhelming.
Exactly. Meanwhile, enterprises are chasing efficiency gains. IBM claimed 45% productivity gains with something called Project Bob.
Project Bob, a multi-model IDE for enterprise AI. 45%
Whoa.
is huge.
It's massive. The question is that 45% faster prototyping or 45% faster production deployment? Big difference for the bottom line.
True. Need to see how that plays out. What else?
Interesting strategic move. Microsoft looking past OpenAI with a new Harvard Health partnership.
Showing their AI strategy is broader than just one partnership, targeting specific industries like healthcare.
Seems like it. Embedding tailored AI deep into regulated sectors. And just a fun hardware bit to finish.
Go on.
Quicksant Silent Workstation Mini PC. Tiny little thing, but with Ryzen Pro 8000 power and, like, arcade-ready security.
Arcade-ready security, what does that even mean?
I have no idea, but it sounds cool. Specialized compute in small packages.
Okay, that was quite the tour. Stepping back, the overwhelming theme feels like just AI integrating everywhere.
Relentlessly. Across the entire stack. Driven by hardware we couldn't even imagine a few years ago, like that NVIDIA GB300 NVL72.
And increasingly structured by new standards, trying to make sense of it all.
Yeah.
Like MCP.
Exactly. And hopefully, synthesizing it like this helps bring some clarity. We jump from cloud foundations to quantum cryptography pretty fast.
Giving you that context for the decisions you might be facing. So let's leave you with a final thought to chew on. It comes from that discussion about how coding is changing.
Right. The glossary mentioned vibe coding.
Yeah, vibe coding. The
Okay.
idea that you use AI to generate code, focusing more on like experimentation, creative flow, the vibe of it, rather than meticulous upfront planning.
Relying on intuition, rapid iteration, letting the AI handle some of the grunt work.
Exactly. So here's the question. If AI pushes us towards more vibe coding, how do we balance that? How do you balance the speed, the creativity, the prototyping?
With the absolute need for robust, reliable, production-ready software, especially in critical systems.
That's the tension, isn't it? How do you maintain engineering rigor when the tools encourage a more fluid experimental approach? Something for every tech leader, every developer to think about.
A really central question for the next few years, definitely. Well, thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and stay informed.